The Dice Odyssey. Hey there, guys. Welcome to the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kasman.
I'm Brian.
Greg.
And we are here now to give you the spoiler edition of Time Stories Asylum. Now, again, we are going to reiterate, if you are here to watch this video, spoilers, okay? So if you don't want to know anything about it,
It's really more of a dream sequence. You know that, right?
it's spoilers in this video, okay? You can keep your mouth shut about dreams and all that other stuff. But anyway, yeah, so the game kind of does look like you're in the middle of a dream, actually, a horrible nightmare. But yeah, if you want to know anything, please do not keep watching. We've warned you. Greg warned him.
You're warned.
Thank you. So do not watch, do not watch, do not watch. You've been warned. Okay. From that point, we're going to go ahead and talk about certain things that we noticed in Time Stories that really stuck out to us. We are going to obviously spoil the story, some of the art maybe, and some instances that came up that stuck out and really had an indelible effect on the game for us. I will begin with, honestly, starting with how much I enjoyed this story overall. And I said something about that in the first review, the non-spoilerish review. It is a story about, trying to stop a, what was it called, a time vortex, or
Yeah, time vortex.
like a time vortex or time something. It felt like Doctor Who, a mix of Doctor Who and Back to the Future, or not Back to the Future, Quantum Leap, where you are inserted into these time casings and your bodies don't go back in the past, but you're literally like taking over another person's body, kind of like Quantum Leap, leaping into it.
New Netflix thing, Travelers.
Is that what it's called? Travelers, or Time Traveler, whatever.
I like that.
Yeah, and that was the thing. What we went back to stop, it was like in the 1920s, and it was in the middle of, obviously, an asylum, and boy, did they really do a job of that artwork to evoke that theme, that horror theme. Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, and this is, I said this in the last review too, this is not for your kids, don't let them play it, they'll have nightmares for a while, right? The key things that really hit me, just to tell you, we're not going to go room by room or give you every single little detail in every room, but the first room that we hit was, what was it, it was kind of like a room for everybody.
Day room.
Like a lounge almost. And we were walking around and looking at different things. The thing that this game really focuses on is clues. I love that. And it is puzzle heavy in so many ways. You're going to be looking at paintings. For example, we saw a painting of a manicore, by a girl who, by the way, comes up heavily later on in the game. She's pretty integral, but you don't know it at that moment. But the fact is, she's drawing, the body of an eagle and a head of a lion or something like that, or head of an eagle. And
Manicore.
It's a manicore, whatever it is, yeah.
There's some math involved in there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden stuff in the painting.
Oh my gosh, pay attention.
Detail is key in this game.
You must be,
everything is very detailed.
Yeah.
You gotta pay attention to it.
Yeah, everything, from numbers. And I'm going to tell you what, the red herrings that were thrown our way,
Oh.
I think we slapped the table a few times, just, I can't believe it, just got us, or what have you.
Dance around one of them.
By the way,
Yeah.
if a guy wants a plunger sometime, yeah, well, should I say? Oh man,
If they want to dance.
yeah, if you want to dance, get a plunger for a dude out in the courtyard, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it was hilarious, and I'm kind of glad we ultimately didn't end up doing that, but we found out later what that was, and yeah, you'll be mad, but you'll also have fun with the game because the game throws these fake clues at you to get you off on a tangent. Really, they don't want you to complete the game on the first run. That's just a fact.
Well, no, yeah.
So
You'd probably be disappointed if you did. Honestly, it'd be like I paid $50 and I solved this in 2 hours. Like, no.
yeah, I think it was amazing. And we actually completed ours in 3 run-throughs. We finished on a 3rd run-through, and I have to say, let me start off with this, satisfaction, okay? It had a lot of satisfaction. I felt like that when we completed it, we did something really cool. Like we had a piece of a bigger puzzle. Matter of fact, that's something else. Yeah. I felt like when we were going through the game was showing you, like for example, there are, at one point in the game, there's, at first you're seeing crazy people and mental patients and things like that, and you're dealing with, cooks and chefs and, normal people and doctors. But, and by the way, the doctors and the nurses, some of them are in on the plot, right? It's not exactly apparent.
And some of them aren't, so that doesn't really help you.
No.
Yeah, so keep in mind those red herrings, right? But the one thing that really kept sticking out to me was the fact that with the deeper we went, I mean, there was at one point, there was like some catacombs, some caverns underneath.
Labyrinth.
Yeah. It was
fun, if you can see these or not. But,
the map, we had to solve this.
That was time consuming.
Not going to go too deep into it, but you have to lay these out in a specific way to get the map to line up properly to find the exit. And, if we hadn't killed that guy, just saying, it might have been a lot easier.
I mean, if you have a bat, you might as well hit somebody with it.
Yeah, he could have led us through those, and we wouldn't have spent an hour on that, but hey, it's a puzzle, man.
You don't have to go through them.
That's true, you don't, but we're not going to say exactly why. We're just saying don't kill a certain guy, okay? That's all I'm going to say. But, at one point you were in the caverns down below. It was like a courtyard of some sort. It was underneath that. And you run into some nasties. You run into some things that seem to be like genetic experiments gone wrong, okay? Mm-hmm. It seems like there's a bigger story going on.
Rejects from the X-Men. Well, that's where they were, who was it in the X-Men? They had all these, like, horrified creatures that, didn't make it through the process or something.
Oh, well, yeah. What was it? The mutants down below live in the sewers, the Morlocks.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was looking for, the Morlocks.
I'll give it that, yeah.
Yeah, it really was. And yeah, you have to fight them and stuff. Granted, the cool thing about this, now, I'm not going to go too deep in the Marcy case. There's a lot more fighting in the Marcy case. In the Asylum, you are mainly solving puzzles. You're gathering clues. You're talking to people. You're getting meat from a chef. You're
handy.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you see a guy who's chained in a bed,
leave him there.
Bring somebody else with you if you want to talk to him. That's all I'm going to say. That was actually one of the funniest things that happened in the game for me. Who was it that walked up? Was it you?
Right.
Me, because I was the talker. I was the one that's like, hey, you need someone that can talk.
He was almost worthless in fighting, but he could convince people of things. And I was like the big brute, but I had the paranoia. I was like, oh, if something bad happens, I'm going to beat you up.
Basically, if you get wounded like 3 times in combat, then he just goes berserk on you.
I'm like hulking out, man. I'm going to hit you. And,
never search with him.
In real life, too, matter of fact. But no, and it was funny because I'm glad I decided to go over there. I was going, that guy's probably crazy. He might try to attack you, and we'll find out what happens.
We'll go this way.
Yeah, we were glad that I came over there. So, but I would recommend on characters, bring that bruiser. Even though he can, go paranoid. I think I did that like once in one of the runs.
Twice.
Was it twice?
Twice you wound up killing Greg.
Both of y'all remember it? I don't.
No, I think you
I don't remember that.
Almost did.
Almost. You got killed somewhere or another.
I did get killed once in the game.
Yeah.
But it came close.
Yeah. Nice. And that's the thing. You do want a couple of guys who can deal with some fighting, because there are going to be moments in the game where you actually do have to do some serious combat, but they're not like, they're few and far between.
We all chose characters that we all balanced out.
Few.
No,
it was few though.
I'm just thinking, but the fun to me in this one is that every character has something wrong with them, and it fits very well, and it's so fun. I almost want to just play with some of the other characters just to experience that.
You were the coke addict. That was one of the funniest things. We had to go get him cocaine from somewhere just to make him happy.
It comes in handy because you can heal with it.
Yeah, in real life, as a matter of fact. They could if the doctor used it properly. But anyway, so thematically, it was fun. But the game itself, there were some jump moments, not literally like a movie, but I mean, you just don't expect these things to come up. So I would say it's very much in the horror genre, at least that story.
Suspense, survival horror type.
Yeah, it was.
It's very well-rounded. You got horror in there, you got suspense, you got thriller, you got puzzles. It's a regular Columbo movie. Without the horror, the Halloween episode,
You just said Columbo.
Yeah, you lost me on that one.
Moving on!
Gotcha.
But the fact is, it was an investigative story, though. It was. And the key thing, here's something in particular. You cannot, I don't know if I should say, Marcy case, you can kind of barge your way past certain puzzles. You're going to probably get hurt by it a little bit more. In this, you cannot go any further till you solve some of these puzzles. You cannot. Now, you might have been able to do something on a different run that changed that course and went a different way. Yeah. But the minute you get to some of these puzzles, you're not moving any further till you solve them. And like that map, the labyrinth puzzle was one of them. The final puzzle, I'm not going to go into it, but it was frustrating. And I'm not saying frustrating because I didn't enjoy the time, because we did take time with it. But because it took so long, I think that's what it was.
That
wasn't the hardest puzzle there, though.
No, it wasn't. I think that if we had played it a little differently, we would have beaten it in 2 playthroughs.
Yeah.
Because we were there and we just didn't really realize it, so we basically walked back and forth through enemies about 2-3 times.
Yeah, we did.
I think that's when I died too, because it was like, we don't know what we're doing. So. And
I would say also, but see, that's the thing. I don't think they expect you to beat this thing in 2 playthroughs. Not normally, because the first game, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's almost like compared to the second game in terms of action and things like that. It's more like kid gloves, and it's trying to teach you. It throws you in, but it's trying to teach you a little bit more.
It was their first story, so I mean, obviously the second story is going to get a little harder, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
It was just teaching you the basics of the game, so you really.
I want to say it was less dangerous than Marcy Case, but yes and no. It's in certain spaces, yes, but in certain spaces, no. I mean, you go underground in this one, and you can expect to be you're going to be facing a whole lot of stuff. And
I would also say there are a couple of I think you mentioned Resident Evil the last time we talked about this. It really, man, there were points where it made you feel like, because
the puzzle solving in Resident Evil, you're going through, you got all these demon-looking characters, you're going through there, you got to solve this puzzle so you don't get killed by these guys, and you move on to the next round.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, it felt like that, because, for example, like in the original Resident Evil, you had to get certain, heart-shaped keys and club keys and things like that, and maybe in Resident Evil 2 as well.
The gem in the eye, so it does a certain thing.
Right, yeah, you have to, when you get gems, hold on to those. I don't remember how many there were. Was there 1 or 2 or what have you?
2 gems, yeah.
Yeah, hold on to them, please. Don't, if you go through another run through, make sure you grab those. You have to have those.
Keys. You don't have to have those. It does.
It would be beneficial to have them. How's that?
It gives you something for future events.
Yeah, and you're going to want it. Yeah. You really will want it. And I will say, weapon up as best you can for the ending, because in this game it plays out like a mystery, like a point. What is it? A point and
click.
Yeah, it's like a point and click mystery where you're finding the clues and such. But when you have to fight, you've got to fight, and you need to weapon up as best you can. Especially the game, it almost feels like a video game at the end, because you do have some final bosses you have to deal with. So yeah, in general, the game, I really loved it. The storyline was amazing. I mean, as much as it can be when you're just it's like solving a mystery. It doesn't give you like heavy story, but just enough to keep you interested. It's like a mystery story. It's like a detective story in a way. And I love it. I mean, I think this game, it's like a choose your own adventure. It really is. It makes you feel like you're actually in the midst of all this, solving things, and the theme just comes out of that. The theme comes out of the flavor text. The theme comes out of the artwork, which was something he touched on, in the last time we talked about this.
Yeah. I mean, you're pretty much like at Arkham Asylum. You got the Joker, you got Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn.
I love that.
Really,
I know, but it's funny, yeah.
Without going too much into a spoiler on any others, they do seem to hide little, pop culture references in not just this one, but future expansions too. So I don't think that you off saying you have a Joker and you have a Poison Ivy and you have,
the characters you take especially, but occasionally sometimes characters you meet. There's also like a spy versus spy reference almost, or I don't know. It kind of looked like one of the characters looked like the guy from Five with that long face. Remember the first room, the day room?
I was kind of thinking Beetlejuice with that one.
Well, yeah. You know what? That's exactly that. You're right. That's actually closer. Beetlejuice, the long face. You'll see it. You'll know it when you see it. Yeah. So anyway, I know what I said the first time. I'm going to say it again. I think this game is fantastic. I will say, yeah, it bugs you a little bit sometimes when you have to do a run through. And also, one other thing, and we're dealing with this now with the Marcy case. Do not run through this too fast. I've heard this from some other people.
Take your time. Take notes.
Yes, because you can take notes. That's something I don't think we originally started doing right away.
Not right
if you
away.
have a Samsung Note, take notes.
Take notes.
He really does too. Yeah. Take notes. Yeah.
You can take pictures, notes, whatever works. Mm-hmm. And then you really do want to explore. That's a hit and miss. That's some of the reasons why it's going to take you, I think, more playthroughs, because you need to explore the different locations, but in each location there's things that are complete that are waste of time.
Sometimes I wish we would explore it a little bit more, just get a little bit more of the game experience. I really wish, especially in Marcy case, I wish we could explore a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, we may very well do that next time. We'll talk about that later. It's embarrassing, but anyway. Yeah, again, take your time with this. This is to be enjoyed. This is an experience more so even than a game at times. Enjoy yourself. Take your time. Explore. Like you say, if you were playing Resident Evil, yeah, you want to beat the game, but you're wanting to figure out what every room has and all that. And there may be some red herrings and there are some red herrings, I should say, that are going to lead you off the beaten path at times. And sometimes you're going to think, okay, this might be something important. And it ends up not being that, but that's cool. Because like in real life, if you're finding clues that might lead you to something, it may not. It may be something that looks so obvious. And so, I love the game. What do you guys think overall? Like, just final thoughts on it, I mean.
My final thought is, I came into this game thinking it's a one-shot wonder. I come out of the game, thrilled to go into the next one. I wasn't really thrilled about Marcy Case. I wanted to go into the third one. But Marcy Case has really got me going. I'm really pumped to finish that one. This one, it won me over. The Marcy Case finalized it right there.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you liked the first one. Like pretty well.
The first one I liked pretty well, but Marcy Case is right on my alley. Okay. I like the Marcy Case. But this one was really good, really enjoyed it. And it wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be. I really thought it was going to be, hey, buy this game, play through it once or twice, and that's going to be done. Play the next game, run through it once or twice, be done. But no, really getting involved in it. Really eager to play it anytime I can.
Awesome.
And I think that's part of the reason of not rushing is if you allow it, the story really does suck you in. And that's the draw of the game.
Very much so.
I still want to reserve my final thoughts.
Man, you are going to sit here and do
third. I'm not saying
this is your fourth or fifth fudge tonight. That's an inside joke.
No, I definitely like it, and it's well worth playing.
You're invested, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, easily invested in it. Yeah. I know the third one is going to be so different from these two, and I want that experience before I really say, okay, this is amazing.
Prophecy of Dragons up here. We're ready to play it.
Yeah, I was ready from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do them in order, so sue me. But anyway.
I'll get my lawyer on.
Yeah, shut up, man. Anyway, we love it. Obviously, you can tell from our reactions how much we've invested in it. We're recalling stories that meant a lot to us, things that we loved about it. That ought to tell you that it's fun. Now, again, not everybody's going to agree with the way the game plays.
Probably the best thing about it is just getting together with friends.
Yeah. When Greg gets together with us, I'm so glad he makes it for Time Stories. I don't see him very often these days except for that, so you know it's a good game when he doesn't show up. And this is a gamer. He is a gamer through and through, I'm telling you, man. So.
Which even right now, I'm going to be honest, I want to be asleep right now. I describe how tired I am right now.
You see lines under my eyes? I got babies, right now in bed. We're probably being too loud, but the fact is, I didn't get much sleep last night, and still we're here, man. So I get you. I understand. Well, anyway, guys, thank you again so much for hearing us just rant on and on and on. But hey, this is what people seem to like, is discussion, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to discuss this, negatives, positives, all of it. So anyway, Anybody got any last thoughts?
That's the best thing about board games. They bring discussion.
That's right, man. This is what it's all about.
Bring you together.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, guys, for watching the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kasman.
I'm Brian.
Still Greg.
So far, yeah. And we thank you so much for watching. You have a blessed day, and game away.